to start the recording. All right, the court is calling cause number 2013 DCM 0578. This is a hearing on a motion for enforcement that has been filed by the Attorney General's office. The parties in this case are Omar Vasquez and Judy Moreno. Let the record reflect that this matter was scheduled for a final hearing today, July the 16th at 1 o'clock. It is now 1:16. Mr. Vasquez has not signed in on the YouTube channel. Ms. Moreno is present. We had given some time for Mr. Vasquez to sign in, but apparently at this moment in time, he has not signed in. All right, my name is Antonio Rodriguez. I am the Associate Judge for the Title 4D Court here in El Paso, Texas. We are appearing in this matter through a Zoom application. Since we cannot appear in court because of the pandemic that's going on, the Supreme Court of the state of Texas, the Office of Court Administration, and the local council of judges have authorized courts to conduct hearings remotely through a remote application. And in this case, we're appearing through the Zoom application. I am recording the evidence on this matter. And pursuant to the Supreme Court rules, this matter is being live streamed through the YouTube channel. In order to comply with the Texas rules that we have to have open courts available to the public. However, once we finish this hearing here today, that recording will be taken off the YouTube at some point today, so maybe this afternoon. I'll ask parties not to talk over each other, one person testifying at one time. As you know, or you can tell already, sometimes we do have a audio problem, and if two people are talking at the same time, the audio will not be properly recorded. You are in court, even though we're not physically in the courthouse. You are appearing before me in the court, in this courtroom atmosphere. All right, yes, sir. Basically the ground rules to proceed today, and ask the Attorney General for announcement at this time. So, Mr. Hargis.
John Hargis for Attorney General, Child Support Division, present and ready.
All right. I will note for the record that Mr. Omar Vasquez was properly served with citation back on May 13th, according to the return on file. And when this matter for hearing was scheduled for today, notice was properly sent to him concerning this hearing for today. It is now almost 1:20. Mr. Vasquez has not signed in at this time. Mr. Hargis, what is it that the state is seeking at this time?
The state's position is that the request the court to issue a capias based on his failure to appear, and also set in a reasonable cash bond. And we can offer the court an updated financial payment record if needed to rebut the presumption of the $250 cash bond, to the fact that he owes over $1,000 in arrearages of child support.
All right, so what cash bond, you're asking a cash bond to be set at $1,000?
No, Judge, we're asking for the court to set it at a reasonable amount, but based on that he owes more than $1,000 on child support arrearages.
All right, what are the, I don't have the financial report yet. What is showing as the arrears as of the most current financial report?
Okay. On child support alone, it's $12,129.40.
All right. Okay. All right. Due to the failure of Mr. Vasquez to appear today as ordered, I will issue a capias for his arrest and will further set a cash bond of $2,500. and it is a cash bond, not a surety bond. Ms. Moreno, once he's arrested, he will be brought before the court. You will be notified at that time so that we can have a hearing on your case.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Mr. Hargis, if you will go ahead and prepare the KPS order, I will sign it. We'll file it with the clerk's office and send notice to the Sheriff's Department to pick them up.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Judge.
Okay, Ms.
Okay.
Moreno, that will conclude our hearing for today.
Okay,
More than welcome to leave the session at this time so you can go out, ma'am.
okay.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Judge.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
All
May
right.
I be excused as well, Judge?
Well, sorry?
May I be excused as well, Judge?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Hargis.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. I see Kaplan and Mr. Reyes and Ms. Rodriguez back in the session. All right. Where are we on this case, Ms. Kaplan? Okay. I think I have you muted, please. Hold on a second.
Your Honor, we need to have a hearing on all issues, please, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Let me go ahead and we are, and we're currently on the YouTube channel. All right, this time the court is calling cause number 2015 DCM 155. This is a hearing on a motion to modify and to confirm child support arrearage. The parties in this case are David Reyes and Victoria Rodriguez, who are present appearing through the Zoom application. My name is Antonio Rodriguez. I'm the associate judge for the Title 40 court here in El Paso. And we are appearing through the Zoom application because of the current pandemic crisis going on, so we cannot appear in court. The courts of the state of Texas have allowed the local courts to continue or to conduct these remote hearings through whatever application there is to assure people can participate. And so therefore this matter is being handled through the Zoom application. I will advise both parties that you are here in court. You're present before me as a judge. So I will ask that you all conduct yourselves according to the rules of the court. This matter is being live streamed through the YouTube channel and recorded by the court. The reason for the recording to go through the YouTube channel is to comply with the Texas rules, which require that courts conduct hearing publicly. In other words, the courts cannot be closed to the public, so anybody can come in and observe what we're doing. Once this hearing is concluded, then that YouTube channel will be terminated and you'll no longer see the YouTube recording of this case. I'll ask parties not to talk over each other. I'll wait until a question is asked before you commence responding to the question. Don't talk over each other because you can probably tell already we do have some audio problems. Every now and then we do have audio problems. And then sometimes people get inadvertently cut off from the participation. Now if that should happen, you can come back into this hearing. All right, those are the basic ground rules in this case. And I'll ask for the Attorney General to make an announcement on this case of readiness or not ready.
Is it Kaplan for the state, Your Honor, ready?
All right. Last parties, let me go ahead and swear both of you so I can have you both raise your right hands, please. Do you, and each of you, solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, Your Honor.
I do.
Okay, I'm just going to ask both of you to speak up just a little bit louder, please, okay? I will take it that both of you did respond in the affirmative. All right, Ms. Kaplan, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state requests that the court take judicial notice of the prior order in this case, which is the Child Support Review Order, Confirmation of Arrears and Modification that was signed September 25th of 2018, Your Honor.
The court will take judicial notice of the September 2019 court order That order is in the court file, and it does appear to have been signed by the appropriate judicial officer and filed with the clerk's office. That order does appear to be in proper form, so I will take judicial notice of the September 2019 court order. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the state further offers the financial activity report into evidence at this time. If I may email it to the court.
That's fine, Ms. Kaplan. You can go ahead and send it to me, and then once I receive it, then I'll take judicial notice of the updated financial report. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state offers the financial activity report under Texas Family Code 157.162 as an updated version of what was served on Mr. Reyes and filed with the court in this cause number.
Okay, that'll be admitted once I receive it. All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Ms. Rodriguez as a witness.
All right, go ahead. She has been sworn in.
Ma'am, what is your name?
Victoria Norma Rodriguez.
Who are you the mother of?
Noah Reyes.
And who does Noah live with?
Myself.
And who's ordered to support Noah?
By which do you mean? His father?
Yes.
David Reyes.
Do you know if Mr. Reyes is working?
According to the last hearing, he wasn't working, but he also just quit. That's what he told the officer, that he had quit when she asked him if he was getting unemployment. So when she asked him why, I'm sorry?
Do you know why Mr. Reyes quit his job?
When the officer asked him, he just said because he quit for personal reasons, like he didn't get along, or he didn't really go into detail, but she had asked him if he was getting unemployment, and he said no because he had quit.
What type of work did Mr. Reyes do?
It was with the railroad. He had already worked there for, I think, like 2.5 years.
And prior to that, what type of work did he do?
Prior to that, he was working where he personalizes like guns and cups, and it was in a place here in El Paso.
Since you've known Mr. Reyes, has he always worked?
Yeah, he always worked. He worked at Walmart while he went to school before that. He was in the Marines, and he was in the reserves. So he's always worked.
Do you know if he has any special skills or certifications?
Yeah, he did go to college for criminal justice. And then he worked here for 2.5 years. So that's a lot of on-the-job training for the railroad. But he did go to school for quite a few years for criminal justice. I'm sorry?
Did he graduate school?
I'm not sure. And I think he went back to school recently after he quit this job. I know he had texted me for Noah's birth certificate so he could sign back up for school.
Why does he need Noah's birth certificate to sign up for school?
I don't know. It was birth certificate or social security card. Yeah.
It was his social security card and
Hey, Mr. Reyes, don't interrupt.
Ms. Rodriguez, do you recall deviating from the guideline child support amount in your 2019 court order?
Yeah, I do. I didn't want to, but yeah, I finally did agree to it. So we wouldn't have to go back to court again, but we ended up coming back to court again.
What was the reason for the deviation?
Pretty much so we could work it out and there wouldn't be any conflict or ill will. So I try to help him out, but
Your Honor, the state requests that the court take judicial notice specifically of page 6 of the prior court order in this case.
Yes, I am looking at the order. That does state the reason for the deviation from the child support guideline. It was based on agreement of the parties.
And Ms. Rodriguez, does Mr. Reyes provide for additional needs of your child, Noah?
no, he does pay for a cell phone for him, but that's it.
So you wouldn't consider paying his cell phone bill providing for additional needs?
It can, yeah, yes.
But it's your testimony to this court that he does nothing else to provide for the additional needs of your child.
Other than the cell phone, no. Before he would help with his school every now and then, but they're not in school. The officer that heard this case, when she put that in, she suggested so we wouldn't have to go back to court again. The $100 difference.
You mentioned that Mr. Reyes was in the Marines.
Yes.
Aware of any VA benefits that Mr. Reyes receives?
I'm sorry?
Are you aware of any VA benefits that Mr. Reyes receives?
Yes, he receives a disability of I believe it's $1,700 a month.
And did he receive that when you were married to him?
No.
How do you know that he receives that?
He told the officer whenever we went to the last time he gave him the paper, and then the time before that in September, he told the officer I did. I let the officer know because he's been getting it for maybe 5 years now, 4 years, and I guess the courts didn't have it on record because she said it wasn't in the file. So I brought it to her attention, and then she added that in.
Okay. Does Noah receive any VA apportionment?
No.
What type of health insurance does Noah have?
Noah has Medicaid.
Does Noah have any other type of health insurance available?
No.
To your knowledge, did Mr. Reyes medically retire from the military?
No. No, he was in the Marines, so he did his 4 years and then he got out.
So
And
he
then he-
separated?
Yes, his 4 years were up, so he got out.
Do you know if Mr. Reyes has any other children?
Yes, his son Hunter.
And is that child under the age of 18?
Yes.
Does that child live with Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Have you received any child support payments directly from Mr. Reyes?
No.
So all payments that you have received have been through the state disbursement unit?
Yes.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, for the record, the court has received the updated financial report that was sent through the email system, and I do have it on my system already, so I'll admit the updated financial report. All right. All right, go ahead, Ms. Kaplan. Any other questions for Ms. Rodriguez?
The state has no further questions for Ms. Rodriguez at this time.
Okay.
The state calls Mr. Reyes.
All right, go ahead. He has been sworn in.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, what is your name?
My name is David Reyes.
Who are you the father of?
Noah Reyes.
Are you working, sir?
Not currently working, ma'am.
Why not, sir?
Because like I stated to you in the break room area, my primary care physician did notice some.
Sir, you're gonna have to
disabilities.
speak up. I can barely hear you.
Oh, my primary care physician in the VA did notice that some of my disabilities were getting aggravated and did increase, and I was actually what's it called? Pointed towards the Veteran Affairs Rehabilitation and Employment program, which is I am attending right now, which I am in school, and they are helping me with my disabilities.
What are you going to school for, sir?
Right now, it's welding.
Are you able to weld without aggravating your disabilities, sir?
Yes, ma'am. My disabilities that I do suffer for is post-traumatic stress disorder and sleep apnea. So that was the main reason that affected me and why I left my job, because I was operating the locomotives, and I was also operating a motor vehicle within the rail yard. Um, my PTSD and post-traumatic stress disorder, being around a lot of people, and the hours that I was working were aggravating my disabilities, and I was affecting my job performance. And yes, I've always worked. I've never shied away from paying my child support, even before I was on child support and we were just separated. I did give uh, Victoria money on the side, and for 10 years I did, you know, uh, also take care of her older son, Josiah Rodriguez. And I never shied away from being a, good father, being for my kids there. But now that this came up, and the VA has sent me a letter saying that I might be entitled for 100% compensation during the uh, unemployability, individual and unemployability program. Um, I had to leave my job because of that, and I did state that to the last officer that we saw. I don't know if it was on March, which I don't remember when it was, but I did state to her that, and that's the reason why I'm not working right now.
Is there any job that you could have at the railroad that wouldn't aggravate your PTSD?
No, ma'am. It's very manual intensive. Always operating heavy machinery. Your loud noises and stuff like that actually triggered me, and that's why, I see my counselor every month, well, every other month, to help me with these disabilities. And also, I know Miss Victoria said something about it was 1700. It wasn't.
Mr. Reyes, just answer the question that's being asked, sir.
Oh, okay.
Going into narrative on areas that are not being asked.
Okay, man.
Go ahead, Ms. Kaplan.
Thank you. Sir, do you have health insurance available for Noah?
No.
Do you have any other children besides Noah?
Yes.
How many?
One.
Does that child live with you?
Yes.
How much do you receive in VA benefits per month, sir?
It's 1,885 with 80 cents.
Do you have any other sources of income, sir, at this
No.
time?
Well, just I do receive from my school, the allocations from my school.
Are you receiving BAH?
Yes.
How much do you receive in BAH per month?
It's 1,200, man.
Do you have any other sources of income?
No, man.
You receive the 1,200 in BAH every month or only when you're in school?
Only when I'm
How long will you be in school, sir?
that depends on if I do get 100%
Mr. Reyes, I can't hear you, sir. You need to speak up or cut back the noise. You're breaking up.
then they will
Can't hear you.
me out so I can be going to school.
Sir,
I'm sorry, sir.
please. How many months out of the year will you be attending school?
I'm sorry, sir. I can't hear you. My program is for 15 months.
No further questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Okay. Any other evidence or testimony?
No other evidence or testimony from the state at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. I have some questions for Mr. Reyes. And Mr. Reyes, my questions to you require either a yes or no answer. Did you quit your job that you had?
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Okay.
Sir, you have with your device. I can't hear you. I'll ask you one more time. Did you quit your job that you had back in September of 2019? Okay, either he's lost communication or
Your Honor. Can you hear me, Your Honor?
you're gonna need to either dial back in or get switched to a different device. Because I can't hear you.
Is this better, Your Honor?
No, sir, you're still mumbled. Your device, whatever device you're using, is scrambled. It comes in and out. What are you using, a phone? Laptop?
It's a laptop, sir.
Counselor, I'm about ready to deny your motion to modify unless I can have some testimony on those questions I want to ask you.
Yeah, I'm using a laptop, Your Honor.
Is that the only device you have?
Besides my phone, sir.
Mr. Reyes, I'm trying to figure out why it is that you quit your job.
I left my job due to the disabilities and the VA.
When
They
did,
were aggravating it.
when did you quit your job?
February 3rd, sir.
I can't hear you. Sir.
I quit my job on February 3rd, Your Honor, this year.
February 3rd. How were you making your child support payments?
Through my job, sir. It was automatically draw off my paycheck.
Okay. Okay, tell me again why you quit your job. Because of your disability?
Yes, sir. Because it was aggravating my disabilities and
How long had you worked there?
I worked with that company for 4 months, sir.
That's ITS Technology?
RJ Gordon, sir. I worked the railroad for a year and
Mr. Reyes.
9 months, I believe.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes, sir.
when this order was done,
Yes, sir.
according to the order, you were working at ITS Technology.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long had you been working for ITS Technology?
8 months, sir.
Okay, you were working 8 months and then 6 months later you quit your job?
No, as another contract company crossed over and picked up that contract because I was a contract worker for the railroad.
Okay. How old is this other child that you have?
He's 10 months, sir.
10 months. So you're telling me that the only income you have at this time is from your VA disability and your VAH.
Yes, Your Honor.
Does anybody else work in your household? Did you hear my question?
No, Your Honor.
Does anybody else work in your household?
No, Your Honor. I'm the only person that actually has an income and pays everything.
And you didn't qualify for unemployment compensation?
No, Your Honor.
So you left your job that was paying you about $6,000 a month.
Just about before taxes, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have no further questions of Mr. Reyes. I have a question for Ms. Rodriguez. How old is Noah?
Noah's 9.
9. Okay, I'm going to show my age. Why does a 9-year-old child require a cell phone?
Well, David did get it back in Christmas, maybe 2 years ago, because he didn't want to speak to me. he had a new girlfriend. He didn't want to speak to me. He just wanted to speak to Noah. So he got him a phone so he could just call Noah and not have to speak to me.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Kaplan, any questions for either party?
No further questions for either party at this time, Your Honor.
All right, tell me what the state's recommendation is on this matter.
Your Honor, based on Mr. Reyes' testimony that he receives $1,885.80 in VA benefits, which are tax-free, and his testimony that he receives $1,200 a month in BAH, and that he's going to receive that while in school, and that he's going to be in school for the next 16 months, the state has calculated his guideline child support to be $524. This is using the 1,200 plus the 1,885 for a
Ms. Kaplan, I
total.
didn't get the amount, please. Go in a little-
The amount of child support is 524, and this is giving credit for another child, as well as giving credit for $81 cash medical to reimburse for government insurance.
I didn't get the medical support.
Medical support of $81, Your Honor, to reimburse for government insurance. All obligations to commence August 1st, Your Honor.
Okay.
The state is further
medical
requesting a
support arrears?
repayment on the arrears owed in the amount of child support as of June 30th, 2020, in the amount of $4,776.58 to be repaid at $50 a month until paid beginning August 1st of 2020, and medical arrears of $404 also as of June 30th, 2020 to be repaid at $25 a month until paid beginning August 1st of 2020. Your Honor. Do you need me to repeat anything, Your Honor?
No, I'm looking at the financial report. All right. Mr. Reyes, you heard the recommendation of the state with regard to the child support arrears, or well, first of all, to the modification of the child support and medical support, and also with regard to the arrears and payments on the arrears. Are you in agreement with their recommendation, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Rodriguez, are you in agreement with their recommendation, ma'am?
No.
Okay, tell me why not, ma'am.
I know he said he only worked 4 months or 8 months at one place, and 1 year he worked over 2.5 years for the railroad. It may have been different companies because he was working out of town and then he moved to El Paso, so that was a different company. But he worked for the railroad for over 2 years. It wasn't until I took him back that now it aggravates his PTSD and other stuff that he can tell the doctor. But I honestly feel he just did it so he wouldn't have to pay the court-ordered child support, so he'd get it lowered. Quitting his job, and if he had a medical disability, he would have been able to show that to his job. But instead, he just quit. And I agreed to $100 less, so we wouldn't have to go to court. Now we're going to court again. I didn't know he could just quit and then his payments get lowered. He just doesn't offer any other thing for Noah, so I just didn't think it was fair for Noah.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, tell me why you agreed to deviate from the guidelines back in September of last year.
I agreed to deviate. I did lower it $100, and now seeing I shouldn't ever deviate. I should go off what they recommend. I was doing it so maybe because David was asking me to, and the officer said sometimes they lower it. I did it mostly so we could just get along and settle it. We wouldn't have to further go to court, waste more of the court's time. We could just settle it and move on.
Okay.
I know we have to wait every 3 years, so that's why it took me so long. I guess I should have took him back 2 years sooner when he was working, as soon as he got that job for the railroad.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Reyes, I didn't quite understand what kind of school it is that you're going to right now, sir. What's the name of the company or school that you're attending?
Western Technical Institute.
Western Tech? And are you receiving any financial aid, grants, or loans or anything to attend that?
No, Your Honor. Just my BAH.
So how are you paying for that? Your VA?
Yes, sir. Through the Veteran Affairs Rehabilitation and Employment Resource Program.
Right, Ms. Kaplan, I didn't get the payment on the medical support arrears that you're recommending, ma'am.
$25, Your Honor.
You said 25?
Yes, Your Honor.
And $50 on the child support arrears?
Yes, Your Honor.
That was your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, based on the testimony that has been presented here today, I find it very difficult to believe, Mr. Reyes, that 3 months after this last order that was done, all of a sudden he decides to quit his job. I was paying him almost $6,000 a month and go into unemployment or not even unemployment. I don't find that there has been substantial material changes since the last order. So child support and medical support continues as previously ordered in the 2019 court order. We'll confirm the arrears as of June 30th of this year, as evidenced by the financial report. I have a judgment of $4,776.58 as of June 30, according to the financial report. And on the medical support, $404. I will note for the record that according to the financial report, there has been no payments, no voluntary payments that Mr. Reyes has made since the beginning of this year, even though he has had some income during that time period. That's another reason I'm denying the motion to modify. All right, that's my ruling here today. Ms. Kaplan, is there anything else that I need to address in this matter?
The repayment on the arrears, Your Honor, are as recommended.
Yes, ma'am. As recommended, $50 on the medical child support arrears and $25 on the medical support arrears. all these are to commence, these additional payments to commence on August the 1st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Maybe
be the parties dissatisfied with my ruling here today, you do have the right to appeal my decision. However, any appeal has to be filed with the referring court, which in this case is the Honorable Judge Laura Strathman. Her courtroom is the 388th District Court, and I think her courtroom is up on the 9th floor of the city county of the courthouse. But you do have 3 days from today's date to file an appeal. Okay, that's my ruling. Ms. Kaplan, if we will prepare the order, send it to me through that document signed, and I will sign it. And once I sign it, it'll be filed with the clerk's office and copies sent to the respective parties. Any
Thank you,
questions?
Your Honor.
Sign.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. That concludes our hearing. Parties are excused. You all can go ahead and sign off at this time.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, Your Honor.